Hey guys, what's up? It's Dennis, and I've been doing a lot of tutorials lately, and they're all been in Russian. And I wanted to give something to the English-speaking part of the community as well. And today I'm announcing the launch of the new series on my YouTube channel. It's gonna be called TOX Review. So the idea is that you send me your files as a TOW file or TOX files. You send a description of the project, what it does, and then I'm jumping in and reviewing it. So I'm not like a touch designer god, so I can only point a few things out, maybe not everything, not a super complex network. There's something that I can figure out still for myself in touch designer, but for something I'll be able to provide some help, and I hope it will be fun stuff to watch. So I have a quick example here. It's from my classes. One of the students made his homework. So the homework was using like basic chops and tops, do a generative scene. And here's what it's look like working. And then here's the actual network. So in this series, I'm gonna go through some common mistakes that beginner touch designer users make. I'm also gonna talk about best practices, such as, for example, here we're using null to export, and here and here we don't use null, right? And this is not a good thing. So let me just quickly demonstrate you how this can look like. So this patch, let's go. First thing that I've noticed here is that my student uses LFO and he uses math chop to actually send a range. Yeah, so he's converting from -1 to 1 to -360 to 360. Yeah, so this is the common mistake that I've seen people do. Actually, you can put your range here when amplitude. It's gonna be the same thing. So if we're doing amplitude of 360 like this and bypassing math, it gives us the same result actually. So no need to use extra math chop here. We can just do it like this. Then lag, okay, then null, it's fine. Then let's look at the circle here. So for rotating this circle, my student uses the arc angles. It's not a big problem, and it's maybe not a problem at all, but just what I think, there is a slider called rotation, and it should be used for rotation, I guess, because it's called rotate. So what I would do is I would export here, and I will get rid of these two exports, and it will give us the same result, but it will be just a more clear way to look for rotation, right? To use the field called rotate. Next up we have crop. Okay. Next up we have another crop. So I'm not gonna judge the art part, right? Obviously, because if the student want to make it look like this, it's his own right. He can do whatever he wants, right? I'm just judging the mathematical thing. I don't know, the thing that can be improved, right? So what I next on my list is that we have crop, but we don't have a null, and this is the super common mistake people tend to do. So why is that bad? Imagine that next stop we want to we're saying, oh, okay, actually, you know what, I don't want it to be black shapes on the white background. I want to be white shapes on black background, right? So I'm going ahead and inserting level, and I'm turning up the invert. So here's my look that I'm going for, but it doesn't, this change doesn't affect anything, because this container here uses crop 2 as his background top, and this is this node, right? So anything that we will, any change that we will make after this wouldn't apply, right? Because there's no, the link is here, right? So that's why you use null. Always use null. That's just everything that ends up with exporting or linking somewhere like this, right? Like this. Always this arrow, to be to simply said, this arrow should always come from a null. It's the best practice. This way, so if I change this, and then over time I'm saying to myself, oh, you know what, this is actually better. What I can do now is just I can get rid of the level like this, and I wouldn't have a problem with broken link or something like that. So null is always a good example. So let's go next. What I like to do next is whenever I am dealing with some kind of interfaces, right? So what we have here, basically it's an interface, right? So it's a texture that we have here, and over it we have a button, right? And then we have a window which is used to show the actual content, right, on in the perform mode. So what I like to do when I have this kind of situation going, like the interface, I like to just give an extra hint of hierarchy. Like these two guys are even, right? The button and the container, they like equally. So they equal, yeah. So, and this container over here, he's like a master, right? So I would do it like this. I would put it in the middle, and I will put these two on the same position. You know, I mean, not like this, but like this. So it would be clear that these two are equal, and this is their master. And then I will always put my window up just above my master container, which populates all the interface things. It's not the you might be using different approach to build your UI, to build your actual presentation mode for your project, but it's just the way I like it. So we can see just by looking at it, right? The hierarchy becomes very visible for us. So next step is that here we have a limit chop, which I don't know why, maybe because my frames per second is inconsistent because I'm streaming this video right now, but it gives me a weird behavior. So if I click this button, pay attention to the channel called click. So if I'm pressing this, it cooks like very weirdly. So right now it's working, but sometimes it stops works. I don't know, for some reason. And it's just what I like to do if I want to count how much time my button was pushed. I'm just using count chop for this. So you can tell by the name of this chop, like that this is used to count something, right? So then we can, in the count section, so this the idea of this button is that it should change the number of sides of this shape, right? So it can go through from 3 to 10 sides, and then it loops back. So what I can do here, what I like to do in this way, if I need to count my button presses, I use the count chop. I'm setting the limit, like here from 3 to, I believe it's 9 in this case. Then you need to reset because it gives you a slight glitch like this. Yeah, you just reset and everything, and you're good to go. So if you pay attention to the push channel right now, it gives you 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. So let's get rid of this limit chop, because I don't like it for this task. I like count better. And let's make a null, right? And then let's export from this null, like this. Okay, and actually we can get rid of the channel called click, because it doesn't do anything. And one more thing that I've noticed while going through this project is that this button is actually a container. Just FYI, you have a designated node for this that it's called button. So but maybe this there's some kind of situation where my student wanted to just build everything from the scratch and just to see how he can build his own button, and this is really a noble thing to do, because reinvent the wheel is a very nice strategy for learning, especially Touch Designer, Python. You know, you're constantly reinventing the wheel to know how it's work, what's the underlying principles of functioning. So we'll leave it like that. And one more thing that I'd prefer to do is that name button doesn't actually say anything, right, about this. So if I push the button, it isn't obvious what's gonna happen, right? Maybe everything will maybe it will auto-save project, and I don't want that to happen because it can stutter for some time, right? Maybe it can quit the project, right? And I certainly do not want to do that. So it's always a good idea to give your button an explicit name, right? Name that actually stands for what its button is supposed to do. So let's say add side, right? Something like that. So now for us it's obvious what's gonna happen when we gonna push the button. So I guess that's it. It was the quick demonstration. I hope you like it, and I want to repeat myself with this disclaimer. It's not like I'm not trying to tell you that this is the only way. This is the how stuff should be done, because I'm constantly learning myself, and it's not. I'm not guaranteeing you that I'm showing you like the 100% best practices, but I've worked with Touch Designer for over, I believe, 5 years now, and I've been through I've been through a lot of things, and this is just my best practices, and I hope it will be be of interest to you. So send your TOX files to the email. In the description of this video is going to be email and what I wanted to receive from you, and I will do a rundown on your projects and give you advices about, like, this basically code review, you know. So looking on this patch, you can see it's now we got rid of some extra stuff that we didn't need, and we have a clear hierarchy now, so we can tell just by looking what is going on here. And that's it. Let's go to perform mode and enjoy. Okay, so thanks guys for watching. Don't remember I'm sorry. I'm sometimes, you know, my English is not very good, but sometimes I'm stuck with like super simple word that I don't remember how to say, and it's like crashes all my system for 1 minute or so. So for that I'm sorry. So please do subscribe, and I'll see you later in next videos. Thanks.